I don't want just anybody. Can you treat me like somebody? I don't want just anybody. I don't want just anybody. Let me treat you like somebody. Drive the top on a Rari. This forever, we ain't stopping. You the life of the party. No doubt. Apply that pressure, don't need no scrub. Try to you special, I need your love. Need your love, I need your love right now. Won't tell nobody. Down the middle, if I get it, then you got it. Seen the first inside the lobby. It's a girl I want for life right beside me. Still together through whatever, like we signed me. Change low type, I keep telling her to try me. Keep it on the low, but I'm falling for your high key. Check off every box, gotta do it like Nike. Ooh, that girl, them my dog. When she walk by, that's him right there. A Levi, but a peanut cell. So unfair, I don't care. Whoa. You should take my number. Oh, I really wanna give you money. Whoa. We can meet up somewhere, baby, I don't care. You should know I don't want just anybody. Let me treat you like somebody. Drive the top on a Rari. This forever, we ain't stopping. You the life of the party. No doubt. Apply that pressure, don't need no scrub. Try to you special, I need your love. Need your love, I need your love right now. I treat you good, babe. No time for Mickey D's, don't need no hood day. I ain't tryna rush it, all I know I should wait. I ain't perfect, but I love when you the good way. Can't go back, I know that. You got dirt, don't hold back. Diamond in the rough, hope you know that. Might not agree, but you show that.
Hey, 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 what's going on, everybody? How we doing? How are we doing? Yeah, Tarsky, I don't know how you lost mod privileges, but I will definitely take a look at that. Try to get those reinstated as quickly as possible. As always, we're making improvements to the stream. Please let me know if you see anything that looks wrong, but she's been waiting patiently, so let's go ahead and introduce Riri. It looks like my camera might be a little laggy, but who knows? How was everyone's weekend? I had a solid weekend. Come on, come on, let's sit. Riri, up, sit, shake, go up. Come on. Good girl. I had a semi-busy weekend. But overall, it was good. It was good. So, we do have a little bit of planning we got to do. So I might have made a mistake here. I needed a software that I could use to do some what's it call it? Diagramming. And literally like 3 minutes ago, there we go, UML. Use a blank UML template. my mouse. All right. So, we have been spending a lot of time working on our enemy AI in our game. Mainly, our goal is to create a group AI system so I can coordinate movement amongst AI in my stealth game. This game is called The Merchant. I made it in 30 days, and I'm not quite ready to move on from it. I think I can develop these systems out a little bit more and then use them in other games going forward. One of the goals is to reuse as much as possible, especially, well, no, it doesn't matter what size your studio is. You should always be reusing. It saves you time, saves you money, saves you resources. So yeah, the goal is to reuse as many of my designs as possible in as many games as possible. So let's just get started. Now again, I am figuring this stuff out in real time, so it's going to be a lot of me just going through trying stuff and asking a lot of questions. I'm happy to share knowledge that I have. But yeah, this is definitely intended to just be kind of a hangout thing. Throw it on in the background while you work. I'm not going to be super chatty, but I'll be chatty when I can be. Take your time. I need you to take it away. So I knew it was YouTube being bad. Yeah. Speaking of this game, I have to download it. You know, Tarsky, just make sure you lower your expectations. Alright, so I didn't write all this stuff down from the last time we streamed. So basically what a UML diagram is, it's just a way to keep track of code and stuff, right? I don't want a whole template, I just want to am I doing this the right way? I know I don't need any of that. I need a frame? No, I don't need a frame. Okay, so shape should be fine. You know what? One thing I'm trying to get better at this time around is documentation. So I'm gonna call this yeah, 11. I'm gonna call this group AI manager. And so this manager needs to be able to do a couple of things. I would like this manager to create enemy AI. A part of creation is spawning, so I don't need to be able to assign enemy AI patrol path. You need to be able to I guess a group manager should also be able to destroy enemy AI. Should also be able to assign enemy AI groups. We also need to be able to send enemy AI to location. I guess I guess I can stop saying that. I'm getting a little redundant with the enemy AIs. Thanks, Starsky. I appreciate that. I try to do quality, but yeah, I was watching a video today just about how it was Ed Sheeran talking about the principle of 10,000 hours, and he basically said when you start creating, it's like turning on a faucet, and when you first turn on the faucet, it's gonna be a whole lot of nasty water coming out of it because you're just not good at it yet. But the more you do it, eventually the water will start to become clear, and that's you starting to get better at it. So we're just trying to put in our 10,000 hours, you know? Just trying to put together our 10,000 hours. What else do we need? What else do we need? See, because sending them to specific locations means we can send them for, send them to help each other when they notice something is missing. Be able to wait, and we need to be able to allow movement. And I'm gonna put our inputs in this box. So our inputs need to be number enemies to spawn, patrol paths, cause the level blueprint is, I'm thinking the level blueprint is gonna be creating our group AI manager, and then our group AI manager is gonna be going off somewhere and doing what it needs to do. And so you don't actually need to pass in a number of enemies to spawn, you just need to pass in patrol paths, and based on the number of patrol paths we'll know the amount of enemies to spawn. Is there anything else unique that needs to be? I don't think so. So normally the way that these things work is like you would define the attributes. Yeah, you need to define variables. I'm realizing I did a lot of this wrong. It's okay, I'm just kicking off the dust though, figuring this out in real time. So I've put our methods here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's put our methods down here. Let's label this inputs. Come down here. Methods. Create an enemy patrol path. Assign enemy AI patrol path. Oh, let's get real programmy with this. Assign patrol path I'm hoping to make this, what's it called? Scalable. Because right now there's only one enemy type. So I'm hoping to be able to, based off the inputs, be able to spawn specific enemy types. Destroy. And this is going to take an input of spawn location. Well, we'll just call it location. Destroy. We'll receive an enemy AI. Assign path will receive an enemy AI. Assign group will group. That's gonna take like an array of enemy AI. Call this one send to location. Wait the delay. Then allow movement. Just apply to all enemy AI. So let's then identify the variables that our group AI manager would have. Give me 1 sec, y'all. So the reason why we've split our live streams into two is partially to play the YouTube algorithm game. But I just remembered I need to trim the intro out of the initial video so it starts where it's supposed to start. But hey, once we get to 1,000 subs on this channel, this whole process becomes a lot easier, becomes a lot smoother. Once you get to 1,000 subs, you unlock the ability to do redirects. So instead of having to pin the location of the after party stream in the chat, after the first video ends, it'll just automatically redirect you to the after party stream, which, needless to say, is much more ideal. But also the nice thing about YouTube is it has an editor now. Built-in editor. Works decently well when it wants to, too. When it wants to is the hard part. I guess I don't gotta be secretive about this part. I can absolutely just, there's no sensitive information, I can absolutely just do this over here. Sometimes it is just a little sluggish. Come on, load for me, YouTube. Well, there's always a shortcut. All I gotta do is pull up the actual video, see where it actually starts. Looks like it's at like 4 minutes and 42 seconds it starts. Yeah, Tarsky, it's so like the valuable part of the stream happens up front, and a lot of the time, like these after party live streams, they end up being really long, right? Like and sometimes the length of the video deters people from clicking on the video, right? So it all it does is where are we at? We're at 4 minutes and 42 seconds. All it does is it shortens the length of the video, which should help increase engagement and hopefully keep people interested. Yeah. Because people will sit and watch a 5-minute video, you know, especially when they don't know you. But it's a lot harder to convince people to watch a 2-hour-long video with something that might be useful to them. So that's all it is. That's all it is. It's kind of a dilemma. And also, like, our channel is still relatively small. Now, mind you, we've grown by almost 40 subscriptions in the last month, which is great. But because we're still small, we're still trying to find the niche that we want to operate in and grow in, right? So I'm really trying to nail my they're called like 3 pillars of content, and those are just like the 3 main things that you discuss on a channel. They should have some overlap to show that people are interested, and based off of the videos that I've posted thus far, the common interests seem to be anime, game development stuff, and gaming news, and those seem to have a decent overlap in audiences, right? So that's probably what we'll do more of going forward. I do have like a couple more gameplay videos that I want to see how they perform, because I changed the way that I'm doing gameplay videos. And so it's all experimentation for now. It's all experimentation, hopefully until like the end of March. Then at the end of March, I'm going on vacation, and we'll come back. We'll evaluate where we're at, and we'll go from there. So we need to have an array of enemies, an array of paths, and is that about it? I think that's it. I don't think we need to keep track of missing enemies. We might need to, but we can worry about that later. Let's go ahead and correct the sizes here. Now, so these lines represent a is a or has a relationship. So we need to use And I should be specific in saying that these symbols and arrows at the ends of stuff mean something. It's been a while since I've done this. So, yeah. And you know how it is, Tursky. Things are bound to fail without a plan. So let's define our enemy AI. So, and we can actually look at the enemy AI we've created for this one, because we already did create the enemy AI. So we just gotta open up our behavior tree. So your enemy AI is keeping track of the player character. Has line of sight, patrol location, I'm guessing some of these are unnecessary. Like this is dead. I know I put it in there for a reason, but I can probably figure out a better way to manage that. Like that might just go up to the group manager. Oh, I just realized my giant face is covering up the box. What else we got here? Enemy behind prevents the enemies from turning around. Player detected. And is ready. Is ready is probably going away with this change anyways. And what can the enemy AI actually do? The enemy AI can for games like Resident Evil 4, where it has been subjective to adaptable difficulty. How hard is that to write program, or is there a program to use for that already based off of? So the nice thing about Unreal Engine and Unity is there's a marketplace, so you don't always have to make things from scratch if you don't want to, right? So for a person such as myself, when it comes to adaptive difficulty, that's a system that I would like to design on my own. So I would figure out how to make that myself, but I'm sure somewhere on the Epic Games store, there's probably something that gives you a template that you can just plug in and play. That's the really nice thing about game development these days is like it used to be, if you wanted to make a game, you used to have to make a whole engine and a game on top of that. So you can say what you want about companies like Epic Games. If you don't like Epic, you can always use Unity. There's so much learning material out there that's easily accessible. It's kind of nice. Good question. So speaking of adaptive difficulty, well, yeah, you do. Well, actually, it depends. So most stuff that's on the marketplace you do have to pay for. I think the most expensive thing that I've seen is $200, right? But and then like you got to decide if it's worth it. Like, to make a system like that and fine tune it would take probably, I don't know, 20 hours of my time. So is $200 worth 20 hours of my time? Depends. Depends on what you want to do. You got to look at your budget, and then you also got to be real with like how much money you think you're gonna make off of the game, right? So the merchant, I expected to make no money off that game. A couple of people did buy it, and I am very grateful to those people that did buy the merchant. But and then with Epic Games on top of that, every month they give away 5 free assets, and it's not like trash assets that like no one's gonna want to use. They give away really good assets. So I've had Unreal Engine installed for, I want to say, like 6 years. If I'm just prototyping some stuff or I'm trying to get some proof of concept, I rarely have to like purchase anything. Even when it comes to releasing something, I rarely have to purchase something. So it's a good deal. It's a good deal. But yeah, speaking of adaptive difficulty, this new Dead Space remake has the terror. Hey, thanks for buying it, Tarsky. Yeah, you were one of the few that did buy it. This new Dead Space game has the terror engine, which manages the adaptive difficulty in a very unique way. It's constantly like, it's like the way that I saw it explained was when you walk into a room, it rolls a dice, which is a number between 1 and 10. 10 being the worst possible thing that could happen, 1 being something just to make you a little nervous, right? And so every time you walk into a room, it kind of evaluates what you've done recently and evaluates what you're coming up to. And it decides, are we going to throw some enemies at you? Or are we just going to make you think enemies are about to pop up? It's a neat way of doing that type of thing. And I think the old Dead Space, the original Dead Space, it either gave you ammo for the weapons that you weren't using, or it gave you ammo for the weapons that you were using. So if you wanted to use a specific gun, you'd have to use it and like it was like a way of raising the stakes, but it was good. It was good. All right, where's my enemy AI? Let's minimize this. Should be in blueprints, base enemy. And so the whole point of this like design exercise is to just have a better, to increase my comprehension of everything that's going on here, because AI is a complex system. So we can update walk speed, which takes new walk speed. That's for when we're in pursuit. And what else we got in our event graph? We have an on-sea pawn. Gotta get next target point. I guess I should differentiate the enemy AI and the enemy. I'm kind of conflating the two right now. Let me grab this one. And let's call this base enemy. I think Resident Evil 4 was the first game that I played that had adaptive difficulty, which is what intrigued me all the more. So I think starting, maybe I should do this next week. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna fit in all the games that I want to play. And so I really want to do Dead Space, but that category is it's a little saturated right now, so I want to give it about a month before I do it. Maybe I'll play that in April. I've never played Resident Evil on professional, so I'm thinking about doing a professional Resident Evil run on Tuesdays, and then on Wednesdays we'll keep the Mass Effect day. I don't know, I haven't decided yet though, because I do enjoy playing these short horror games. These short horror games are fun. If I'm being completely honest, we'll see how the video of my last short horror game, September 7th, performs. We'll go from there. Yeah, we'll see what happens next. But hey, like I said, we're focusing on finding our niche. We do decent numbers when we play short horror games. So that might dictate the decision going forward. Okay, next target point. These are actually the methods. Deal damage, which one hit currently kills the player. But we'll probably be changing that. The more I think about this merchant game, the more I see potential to do things that I actually like kind of want to do with it. So we'll see what this turns into. Variables. Am I even using current state? What is current state? I am using it. Well, I'm partially using it because you're either patrolling. Yeah, I don't shift into searching, but I probably will add that functionality in. Target points, which is your patrol path. Current index, which is where you currently are on your patrol path. Is dead. I don't think I need to keep track of is dead, but we'll see. Thanks, Tarsky. I appreciate that. The mess skeletal mesh options. Man. So what I did with skeletal mesh options was instead of hand placing each type of enemy on a map and making them look differently, I just had it all be auto generated. So which as a result, every time you restart the game, the enemies are in the same locations, but their clothing is always different. So we might like, we don't need that much variety. Yeah. So we might get rid of that. Okay, material options. Yeah, because it's currently set up as you can either be a female FBI agent or a male DEA agent. And then the clothing types change with that too. Should chase. I don't remember what should chase was used for. I got an early morning tomorrow, so this might be, we might cut the stream short today. It's been a little while since I've gotten a good amount of sleep too. Player detection. Is player detection or player detected? Player detected. I think that has more to do with the enabling the HUD, but we'll see. I don't know why I need a player reference. Oh yeah, we do need a player reference, so you can keep track of who you're trying to get. Buddies, which is an array. I think this is kind of bloated. Another good thing about UML diagrams is you can kind of see when something has too much responsibility, and you can distribute that responsibility to other methods where it makes sense. Hey, what's going on, Bad Tunes? Welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Move to next point. Move to next point. Do I know you from Twitch, Bad Tunes, or did you just find the stream? Alright, so our actual enemy AI keeps track of a lot of things, but I don't think we'll represent. Yeah, we're doing a lot of planning right now. I participated in a game jam. I made a game in 30 days. It has a stealth enemy AI system, so we're trying to improve that. We're trying to add a group AI system to it, and probably take that and repurpose it. That's the plan. That's the plan. How about yourself? So our base enemy has an enemy AI, and our group AI has multiple enemy AI. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate that. Yeah, those are we're kind of messing around with our format right now, so we tried doing that first video, see what we got. What'd you think? You have any input on any advice? I'm just figuring out this game dev thing in real time. I am just learning as I go. So I don't try to be like an authority figure in this. I just try to share what I've learned as I'm learning it. Are you also a game developer? Making game documents. Yes, it's it's one of my it's one of my weak spots. I have a bad habit of just like diving in and just going for it, and I'm getting to a place where that's hurting me more than it's helping me. So so yes, absolutely. I'm also looking for better UML documents. All right, so the other thing I need to do is I need a plain level that I can test this stuff out in, because I am personally tired of trying to do all this in the level that I've already made. So we'll just use the default level to test a lot of these things out. Yeah, this will work. Oh, you're in a studio. That's awesome. That's awesome. What was your path to securing a job in a studio? Is it something you went to college for, or did you kind of just teach yourself? What do I have in here? I think I have a... So there's one AI over there. So we're gonna need a couple of AI. But first I should create a... Does this thing chase me? Was I figuring out AI perception? I think I was figuring out AI perception last time I was in here. Also, like, what do you... The key is a good portfolio. Okay, so... Make stuff, but also make good stuff. Gotcha. That's definitely the dream job. But I struggle with the volatility of the market. It seems like I see a lot of layoffs in game development studios, and you know, I got a wife that likes to be around her family, so moving probably isn't an option. There's not too many studios near me, so I don't know if I'll ever be able to like work in a studio. And at least 2 years of coding knowledge. I do love to code. Does what do you think about... But I guess, yeah, what do you think about Unreal Engine? Like, do you think more game development studios are gonna start... one day you're gonna go full indie? Okay, I respect that. Do you think these game development studios will start using Unreal Engine and Unity more than they create their own engines, or do you not see that changing? The reason why I ask is because I just saw that 343 decided to switch to Unreal Engine for whatever the next Halo project is, and I was super interested in that. I guess we'll put it here. Oh, I already have a AI mastermind class. What was I doing here? I didn't comment my code. Dang it. So we have an event tick going into a gate with a sequence. So this thing was just checking if all the AI in the group were ready and then telling them that it's okay to move. But I don't like that. So I'm gonna be a little impulsive and just delete that. Oh, really? So already using Unreal in your studio? That's cool. That's cool. That makes me feel like, okay, follow-up question. I'm sorry if I'm asking too many questions, but I've always wondered, like, when you go to apply for a job in a studio that's already using Unreal Engine, do they care if you're developing in blueprints, or do they want to see you using C++? I currently work as a software engineer, so I stare at enough code over the course of a day to just like not want to. Like I straight up do not want to look at C++ code when I'm doing something that's fun too, like game development. Give me this. All right, so our AI manager needs an array of enemies and an array of paths. So we have the buddies, but we don't have the patrol paths. Currently, our patrol paths are an array, I believe. Yeah, it's target points. It's an array of locations. Add the variable. Oops. Patrol paths. It's going to be a vector, and let's make that vector into an array of vectors. And it does need to be exposed at spawn. Our level blueprint is going to populate that. Buddy's ready does not need to be exposed at spawn. I should just move this window so our input is going to be patrol paths. Okay, so here's where I tend to struggle with Unreal Engine, because you cannot add delays in functions. So when it comes to creating enemy AI, I probably don't want to do that. I don't think I want to do that in a function. This is definitely going to be dragged off of event begin play. You can join any studio with blueprint knowledge, but you have to know some coding course. Everyone around you will code in C++ and other languages. Okay, it's good to know. So I'm not completely wasting my time. Thank you for enlightening us. I appreciate it. As a person on the outside, all I hear is stories. So it's cool to talk to someone in an actual studio. Are you currently working on your own indie game? The hardest part for me is the idea phase. Man. Okay, so off of begin play, we have our patrol paths already. So I probably want to do a for each. Get patrol path. This is the issue that I had. Because you can't make an array of arrays. I went over this last time. You can't make an array of arrays. And so patrol paths. What other options do we have? So yes, the location is going to be a vector. But is there any other structure that we can use? I could probably... Time and money. Those are the two. Those are the two. It's definitely the two. Those are the two biggest hurdles. I definitely agree. Well, I guess one interesting thing that I tried. I entered Game Off 2022, which is just a game jam where you have a month to make a game. But I've had Unreal Engine. I've been playing around in Unreal Engine for like almost a decade. And so I've been like redeeming those free 5 market assets that you get monthly. And I wanted to see if I could just make something quick without actually spending any money on it. And I made something quick. Like it doesn't look unique, but it's definitely quick. Wait, we have a 2D vector. Vector in 2D space. You can do some coding in the background. I'm not great at multitasking, but it seems like if you want this live streaming thing to work out, multitasking is something you gotta do. Oh, where'd your comment go? If it got automatically deleted, I'm sorry. Yeah, part of the point of these live streams is to intentionally get better at the act of Oh no, it's okay. What part of Asia are you from? I'm going to Japan next month. The original plan was to do a Japan, South Korea, Thailand thing, but we just didn't have enough money to make all that work. When in doubt, Google out. I actually work with the company that I work for. We have a factory in Singapore and Korat. So I actually work with a lot of people from Asia in my 9 to 5. UE4. Can I make a list? As arrays. UE4. How can you make an array of actors? How can you create an array? How can you make an array of blueprints? What's your game story? So the game, we're working on the game from the game jam, and the theme for the game jam was cliches. So I wanted to make a game about the cliche of merchants always being conveniently placed in games. So the story is you're playing as a merchant who is sneaking through a level before the protagonist to strategically leave ammo, health, and set up his shop. Right now, if I were to take this to the full idea, it would be you start off with a set of tools, and at every checkpoint, you have to sell off one of your tools to the protagonist and continue on with less tools, so the difficulty continuously increases. Now, I'm really bad at explaining stuff, so I really hope that made sense. I haven't gotten the elevator pitch down yet. UE4. Container for array. Okay, here we go. This might be something. T-array. We know how to create and fill an array already. We know how to iterate, storing, queries. All right. Well, that was disappointing. That was disappointing. We could always make our own container that has an array of arrays. We could just make it an actor called. It would just be a utility. That might be the easiest way to go about this, though. And you know what? We're figuring this out in real time. We might as well just try. We might as well just try, right? Object types. I guess the only other option. Is there any room for an enumerator? UE4. No. Probably not. I don't think so. I was thinking the enumerator was something else. An enumerator is just a list of predefined objects that you can select. So, yeah, you know what? Let's just try to make a container of arrays. Let's just try to make our own array container, and we will go from there. Let us adore. Where do we put this? Let's just make a utilities folder. This song just lifts my spirits. No, that's wrong. I don't want the new folder there. Folder. Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. So the goal was to make a game based off of a cliche. So the cliche I chose was the conveniently placed merchant in games. So I made a game about a merchant that sneaks through a level and leaves ammo and health drops for the protagonist to pick up, and then sets up his shop and sells off one of his tools to the protagonist, and then continues playing. So at every checkpoint, it's a little loud, at every checkpoint you're basically increasing difficulty by selling off a tool that makes the game easier for you. Yep. Game Jam game. Game Off 2022. This was actually the first time I uploaded anything that I ever made. Have you ever participated in a game jam? Utilities. Let's make a blueprint class. Call an actor. Say. Call it an array container. And what you do, what is our array container to? How long were they? Did you feel like it was a worthwhile experience? I definitely felt like it was a worthwhile experience. There's something about developing to a deadline that like keeps you from spending too much time doing one thing, you know, focusing on perfection. Documentation. Back to the documentation. So let's come over here. Just copy, paste, and let's define what our array container can do for now. "48 hours, 2 weeks, 3 days, 2 months. They were your best works." That's so cool, dude. Just know you are so cool to me. The fact that you were able to do something in 48 hours, man, that's crazy. But it is true, like, you kind of, well, me specifically, when I just develop in my free time, kind of like I'm doing right now, I tend to not be as focused, and therefore everything just takes longer. I focus on stuff that I obsess over things that don't need to be perfected. So yeah, it just, man, those game jams, like, they just made me sharpen up. Do you have a link to your profile? Are any of those games available? If they are, I would love to play them. That was the thing that I loved the most about the game jam. Okay, thanks for hanging out, Bad Tunes. It was cool talking to you. Take care at work. Do great things, Mike. Do great things. Thanks for popping in. Adding variables to enum. Okay, so we got the array container. What do I want my array container to be able to do? You need to be able to create a new array. I guess that's the main thing. Main thing is create a new array. Create new array. Should I say, do we need to be able to probably, if we can create, we should probably be able to destroy. It was a game jam when game jams didn't exist? No way. So you've been at it for a long time. That's awesome. That's awesome. Destroy an array. Let's I think that's all. I think that's all the array needs to be able to do. I think that's all the contain. You probably need to be able to, well, yeah, get array, given an array name. I don't even know if this is possible in Unreal Engine, but we're gonna find out. Given an array name. Yeah, if you can create, you gotta destroy. I finally finished I finally finished season 1 of the 1,000-Year Blood War. And man, I would tell you this much. I have never question whether Naruto is my favorite anime as much as much as I am right now. Like I've been having that thought ever since the first arc in Bleach ended, when the Aizen reveal first happens. I think it's like within the first 50 episodes. I was like, man, this is really good. I wonder if this might be my new favorite anime. And having gotten through the first season of the 1,000-Year Blood War, I'm like, oh, this might be replacing Naruto. My top 3 are Yu Yu Hakusho, Full Metal Alchemist, and Naruto. But Bleach might be replacing Naruto. Man. So good. And then they did this thing where they saved one of Bleach's main songs is called Number One. And you hear it all the time early on in the show, but they play it less and less and less. And they saved Number One for like the ending credits of the 1,000-Year Blood War season 1. And it just hits. It hits so well. Oh, it's amazing. I could go on and on about Bleach though. I could go on and on about Bleach. So let's see, is it possible to create a function called create array? Create array, and your input is gonna be a vector array. And you say, ooh, is it construct object from class? Oh, Tarsky, I know you're not an anime fan. We're talking about a different brand, my guy. Maybe this is just a dumb way to do this, so. There is a function called create array. Oh no, that's me calling. That's me calling my own function. Yeah, that was funny. UE4 create variable in blueprint. How about that? How about that? Oh yeah, that's how you do it. It's okay. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. can also create variables by promoting to variable. If I right click and hit promote to variable, and then I can I pass in a name? Can I say oh man, I don't think this is gonna be possible. I don't think this is gonna be possible. I think I'm gonna have to do some research. Because I just want to be able to add arrays to this. Can I set? It would be really nice if I could just. Is it possible to split the struct pins? See what we get. Can't split the struct pins, which is fine. UE4 dynamically create variable in Blueprint. Currently working on procedurally. Let's see. I'm currently working on procedural building generator. Therefore, I save different parts of the building in arrays. You love the kid cartoon so much. It makes sense. Now I want to be able to choose the meshes and blueprints, static meshes. Can be changed dynamically in Blueprint and save them to an array and reuse them. This works as long as I use the same blueprint or copy it over. However, when I drag and drop from my content browser, everything's gone. So basically I want something like a plus. All design, one design. So you did this with structs. Create name variable in Blueprint at runtime. Create variables at runtime. Let's say I'm reading a text file and I read the name step up and down, and now I want to create a variable called step up and down after the game has already begun. How are you using the variable afterwards? Will it always be the same type? If you just want the string step up and down to be stored, you could create an array of strings and add that string to it in game, then access it by index. If you needed step up and down to point to another value, flow, you need to create a map. Okay, here we go, with the string as key and float as the value. All right, let's do a little bit of research on maps.
Tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online.
What is a map? Creating and editing map containers, an advanced container type in blueprints, including an overview of this container's properties. Much like arrays and sets, blueprint maps have a variety of uses when developing a game. If you're unfamiliar with the term container, think of a storage box where you label items and place them inside of the box for immediate or later use. If you've used arrays to store and work with, collecting items, and you've already started using blueprint containers. Maps are similar to arrays in that they both use a label to indicate where an item is in a container. However, labels for maps are different than the ones used for arrays. When using arrays, the label is the item's sequential index, whereas with maps, the label is a container. Okay. It's not quite. But you can't... I think I tried this last time. I don't think you can create a map of arrays. I can try real quick though. Map. So let's say we have a vector map. So let's say you'd have a integer relating to a vector. Yeah, I don't think you can. What about with the set? A set of vectors. But I couldn't take... I couldn't create... Yeah, because this expects vectors and not arrays. Yeah, so there's not much that I could do there. That's okay. At least not tonight. We only got 7 minutes left of tonight's stream. If I could just figure out how to create a vector. Or create an array. Because all you gotta do is create a new array every time. So when you hit promote to variable, it's just gonna here's how we can try this out. Then on begin play. Let's call, let me compile. Let's call create array. Let's put this in a loop. Let's try to make 3 arrays. For loop, just a regular for loop, please. 0 to 2. Oops. I didn't think about macros. Might be able to do it with a macro. What is a macro in UE4? Give me a refresher, please. Macros. Blueprint macros or macros are essentially the same as collapsed graphs of nodes. They have an entry point and an exit point designated by tunnel nodes. Each tunnel can have any number of execution or data pins, which are visible to the macro. So what's the point? What is the point? Let's search when to use. Functions versus macro. I recently had thought of the difference between a function and macro. For me, they are most likely the same. They both can have input and output. Both should be used multiple times. So what's the difference? As far as I know, you can't tell macros from the outside. If you have logic that should be callable from the outside, you'll want to use functions. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so you can condense. So this person is saying instead of having multiple comparison branches, they just use macros to do comparisons, and it makes their blueprint graph smaller. Zero to 2. Create an array. You need a vector. Let's go make array. All of them should be 0. Now I would expect this to fail immediately. But it could be because we're not actually, it's not simulating this blueprint, or is it? I don't think it is. I don't think this is gonna work, but it was worth a shot. Can I say set variable name and blueprint? Set variable by name. I know I can set variable by name in C++, but I don't solve. You can check if those actors have implemented a valid blueprint interface and use that to avoid casting several times with find by property name. Okay, so there are some workarounds, but I don't have time for them tonight. This is all I got time for tonight. So we got some stuff done tonight. I appreciate y'all for coming and hanging out. Tomorrow night will be better. We'll get more stuff done. We're going to be doing the same format tomorrow night, and we're going to see what we get. So tomorrow's video is going to be on 3 simple things you can do to improve your enemy's AI. And we'll go from there. As always, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of y'all.